motion.
Let me know which one it is, and I'll.
Yeah, good time. We went to Tennessee to see my dad. Crossville, which is 60 miles west of Knoxville. Then, a resort area called Fairfield Lakes. It's got 5 golf courses and a bunch of stuff. Thank goodness. He belonged in assisted living, but they won't go.
Okay, okay. Nice. Nice. Where are the rest of your kids living at?
Okay, let's see.
Okay.
I haven't even gone over these properties.
So they didn't want to join the branch that their dad joined then, right? Because you were Army, right?
But usually I
Well, this,
yeah.
the lights around, there's neon lights.
Right. Well, good, good. But the whole Taylor family was represented by every branch then, right? Well, that's good, that's good. The Taylor's serving our country well, huh?
Hey, Marcus, let's see. Let's get him.
All those places weren't.
Get him on Zoom.
Yeah, yeah.
You go through this. This is what I thought was pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah, that part.
Did she tell you how to switch back to the agenda?
Hey, Malcolm, how you?
That's Pete?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm happy to be here. I'm trying not to screw things up too much.
Use
so.
LEDs.
Yeah, that's really great.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sharing the screen will let him see.
I didn't realize they were going to allocate that much space for a recreational area when we went through this. I mean, that's huge.
I guess.
I mean, that's great.
Yeah, he hasn't.
I guess it's fairly distance down Blythewood Road.
You don't know whether that works.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I tell you the one I like.
You can just leave it
There's 2 out there. There's a
behind
soccer and
once
there's
you get
baseball.
him on there.
Soccer's just as big, if not bigger. It is. It's great. And then the one I like the best because, I mean, we're gone every weekend for soccer.
Hey, this is Carol.
Is the complex up in Rock Hill, which I just
Can you go ahead and log on?
because they got a soccer and a baseball field combined, and it's right next to it. Gigantic plaza like Sandy. So if you don't have a game, you can just go shop. I mean, it's really nice.
Well, that makes it a little easier. I can just exit that out of this, right?
Yeah, get out of that. You're good on
Anything that won't go on.
Yeah, I've got all the members listed here, and I'll just give a check or.
call them out by name.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I'll ask you about notification posting agenda list.
It has, yeah.
We got a quorum. 1, 2.
Won't they ask me if there were changes to the minutes? Okay. Okay. Oh, remember to, I gotta remember to press play when it starts. The recorder up there.
That's it. What are we doing here? On a nomination.
I figured I'd leave it there since nobody wants.
Okay.
Yeah, but have they already determined? Putting a slate? I didn't see. Yeah, that's.
One time, I think.
Thought they put a slate. Hey, did you fill out your ballot at HOA yet?
Yeah, but maybe just wait.
I haven't, my husband's busy.
It is right in there.
Basically what the, just tell you what
Everything's going.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, yeah, good to see you. Glad you could make it.
Those five are doing a good job, except for, he just doesn't, and he knows it. This is that kid go forward. So,
Hey, how's it going? Hey, Ken Coleman, nice to meet
that's
you.
what Ben Sergi.
All right.
Go with it, go with it. I mean,
Star Trek.
we have five. We have five.
It's,
Yeah. Good account. Yeah, I was wishing we were in here. Jan Bailey. Really good.
glasses outside. Well, we here now. We gotta look at 2 minutes. I said, we'll do it live. We'll do it live.
Does it look optimistic?
Yeah, just to
I think
keep
if
it
this
still
worked
optimistic.
out, yeah,
Okay.
that, he was certainly, he was like,
But otherwise, I mean, the five have done us. We got.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to call this meeting of the Blythewood Planning Commission to order at 6 o'clock, or 6:02. Right on cue. Thank you all for attending, and thank you too for those that may be watching through YouTube. First order of business is a roll call. So,
Okay.
Kirk, if you do the roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Malcolm Gorge,
Here.
Kenneth Coleman,
Here.
Ed Kessler,
Here.
Erica Page,
Here.
Marcus Taylor.
Here.
Very good. So we have a quorum. And Kirk, can you confirm that the agenda was properly posted and notified according to state law?
Yes, yes, it was.
Next task is to adopt the agenda, which has been distributed to everybody. Any comments or questions? If not, can I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. Item E on the agenda is approval of the minutes of our previous meeting, which hopefully you've all had a chance to review. Any comments, questions, or discussion? Hearing none, I have a motion to approve. I have a motion. Second.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second for approval of the minutes. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, now to the important business of the evening, the nomination and election of officers for 2022. And the first item is nomination and election of chairman for the Planning Commission. Any comments or discussion on what's needed? A motion for any nominations?
Yeah, I make a motion to go up the chair.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second to nominate Malcolm Gorge as chair of the Planning Commission. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Next item is nomination and election of vice chairman. I'd like to make a proposal that Ed Kessler be vice chairman. Any thoughts on that proposal? Any comments or suggestions?
Say can, but that's all
Well, it's all a question of how many people vote for or against. So we take it one at a time. We have the first nomination is for Ed Kessler. Is there a second for that motion?
I second it.
We have a motion and we have a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Congratulations, Mr. Kessler.
Thank you. That was unexpected.
And a further change, which is something that I've not seen before, but it's very appropriate and valid, and that is to nominate the secretary for the Planning Commission. And Mr. Williamson, would you like to explain or offer a nomination for that position?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So yes, so just to give staff some different experiences, I would like to have Kirk Wilson serve as the secretary at y'all's pleasure.
Very good. Any comments or questions?
And I can just add a little bit for those you don't know him. He's served for a long time in the town, primarily doing permits, but also all the planning and zoning. So he's attending these meetings and also following up and acting on the development that occurs after rezonings and things. So he's the one who's kind of putting y'all's words into action. So he's certainly an appropriate person to serve in this role, and I think would benefit and will likely have input on the topics that come before you as well. So there's some additional comments I'd like to add.
Thank you, Mr. Williamson. Appreciate that. Any further questions or comments? I'll make a motion that Kirk Wilson be our secretary for the Planning Commission for this evening and for the year 2022. I hear a second.
Second.
A second from Mr. Kessler. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Congratulations, Kirk. You are
Thank
our
you.
secretary.
Thank you.
Very good. Okay, so to the real business of the evening, action item, is the first one, it's fairly straightforward, is the approval of our meeting schedule for 2022. Hope you've had a chance to review that information in your packet. There's no real change to the schedule. It will continue to be the first Monday in the month, and the meeting starting at 6 p.m. Does that still meet with everyone's approval and schedule? No changes proposed?
And Mr. Chair, if I would just keep in mind, if we do have holidays on Monday, then it's going to be the following Tuesday.
With that exception duly noted. Okay, so we have a motion to approve the meeting schedule for the Planning Commission for 2022 as contained in your packet. We have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Next item, B, is regarding a text amendment 2021-03-TA to amend the Blythewood Code of Ordinance, Chapter 155, which is zoning, and the subsection 155.427 under definitions. Mr. Williamson, can I ask you to elaborate on that for the benefit of our audience and anyone listening in?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, and this text amendment is coupled with this one right after that. So the first one is just to establish a definition in the sign section of the ordinance, and the second is to address more the real meat of the text amendment. So staff is recommending to the Planning Commission some ordinances to amend Chapter 155 zoning, Section 155-427 definitions, and Section 155-430 exempt signs. The proposed sections for the amendment are attached in your agenda packet, and basically staff finds that these LED strip lighting has become more common, not just here necessarily, but across unincorporated Richland County and Columbia, and it's for a town in Blythewood that has a Board of Architectural Review, and even in the ordinance, it states under what the Board of Architectural Review will be looking at, all commercial development goes to the Board of Architectural Review, and it has really made significant difference in the way the town is being developed. But it states for dealing with signage, which it does look at as well, that compatibility between signage and site architectural building materials, colors, graphics, and other architectural features is saying that there should be compatibility between that. And these bright, colorful lights are not really in keeping with the traditional look that has been the focus of the town and the Board of Architectural Review, and it really stands out like a sore thumb. And so rather than wait for all this to come to Blythewood, I thought we'd go ahead and head it off. And so I included some pictures there of what the LED strip lighting looks like. For this text amendment, the first one started off with a definition, which window signs were not defined. There's a big, long set of definitions at the beginning of the sign ordinance, and it's always good to have a definition of what you're trying to do. So just added a definition stated that a sign affixed to the interior or exterior of a window or placed immediately behind a window pane so as to attract the attention of persons outside the building. Just a basic definition so we know what we're talking about. And may I just go on to the second text amendment? There's a section in the sign ordinance about exempt signs, and window signs is one of them. So what that means is that they're not coming to the town to get a permit for window signs, but this section does stipulate that there still are some requirements, but they wouldn't, they can just, the only way we're going to see it is if we actually are riding around and see it. So they're not coming to us. If you'll see there in section K, which is part of the memo that we submitted in the agenda packet, just adding a fourth bullet there that says window signs are exempt provided that they do not use strip lighting or similar lighting materials except for incidental signs like an open sign or closed sign that is less than 4 square feet, and two, recognizing that during holidays time, there will be some additional decorations, so seasonal lighting between Thanksgiving Day and New Year's Day. I'm just having that allowance in there.
Thank you very much, Mr. Williamson. Do you think we can combine those two changes together as one?
I think you can make a motion for both those amendments.
But before we do that, looking at the list of citizens that have indicated they wish to speak, Mr. McKendrick and Mr. Brock, do you wish to speak now or at the end of the meeting? Right. And Anyone else in the audience?
Question.
Sure.
Do we have any businesses that are actively using this at this time or have inquired about it?
Yes, we have had, so,
And what's the response by the town that it was going to be brought up?
well, we brought up that, yeah, we just said, basically explained to them about what this section about the board architectural review, about the compatibility, and said that this was not really compatible with the surrounding town, and then also said that these are ordinances that are coming before eventually to council. So.
Any other questions or comments? I think your preamble sums it up very well. Our job is to make sure that there's a common perspective on these sorts of questions, signage, lighting, etc., and the question of appropriateness falls to the town to decide what is and what is not appropriate. So these additions to the definition and the actual ordinance seems to make perfect sense for clarity. So I'll entertain a motion to approve both the definition and the text change.
So move that the amendments as presented in
Mr.
section
Kessler?
155.
And a second from Mr. Taylor. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. The ayes have it. Thank you. Oh, we're certainly moving along very well. Mr. Williamson, under other business, I think we'll just make a comment on where we are with the comprehensive plan that we thought we would be talking about tonight.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, so the intent has been to, as we're getting close to the end of the comprehensive plan, I appreciate all y'all's work so far. Gregory Sprouse has been working diligently to kind of get all his drafts to a final form, and so flurry of calls to Friday and today, but ultimately he's going to have it in final form for y'all to review. He's going to give it to me tomorrow, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand deliver that to each of y'all's houses so you have it in hand, and then if we could review it and then have any comments, and I'll follow this up in an email by, say, December 20th, which I think is a Monday. That allows you enough time and to interfere with the holidays too much, because to have any kind of, anything you see in there, whether it be grammatical or specific errors, to get back to me, and then we can get that back to Gregory, and he can make those changes, and then on the January Planning Commission, bring it to you for your recommendation to Town Council. So that's the plan for now, but happy to answer any questions on that.
Appreciate that. I still believe that the COG has done an outstanding job in pulling together the text and the statistics and the information for the comprehensive plan, and they had the additional input from the town survey, which I regarded as being an absolutely essential part of the whole exercise. So I think hats off to them, and they pretty much met our goal of having the report up together by the end of the year for the initial review. So I'm personally very satisfied with the service that they've provided. So, any other business? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Oh, we got Brock and
Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon. Yes, indeed. Thank you.
Good evening. I wanted to make a point to come to this Planning Commission meeting, particularly just to thank the Planning Commission. I've enjoyed serving on the Planning Commission over the past few years with each of you. I appreciate your nominations for chair and vice chair, as I think they'll both do a great job. In relation to the comprehensive plan, a lot of work from the Planning Commission went into that, and looking forward to seeing that brought to a completion. And for those people watching on YouTube, if you want to get involved in town government, the Planning Commission is a great way to start. I think actually you may have a couple seats open. I know, Ken, you're new to the process, but a welcome addition. So I'm looking forward to serving on council. I appreciate the support in that transition, but I certainly wanted to thank the Planning Commission and staff for everything y'all do on this level of town government. So thank you very much.
Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Councilman.
Mr. McKendrick, thank you. Mr. Brock.
Good evening. Thank you, Chairman Gorge, and congratulations on your chairmanship. I believe this is
Thank you.
full circle for you,
Yes, it is. Yes.
maybe in 2 years. Mr. Kessler, congratulations, and Kurt, welcome to the Planning Commission team. I also wanted to thank you. Rich apparently read my notes before I got up here. I also wanted to thank all 5 of you for what you do for this town. I have been in those seats before. At times, it is a very thankless job. And I just want you to know that there's at least one, probably 2, and probably Sloan as well. Franklin, can't speak for Ballman, but we've all been up there. We know what it takes, and we really do appreciate what you do. And so I want to thank each and every one of you for what you do. Thank you also for working on the comp plan. I've read the one that's currently out there. It's a great substitute for Ambien. So, it's a pretty funny one. It is dry, but it is a necessary evil. And I know that Councilwoman Kendrick headed that up, and I know that we're in great hands with you, Councilman Gorge, and you, Chairman Gorge, and you, Vice Chair Kessler, and that we will have one of the best comp plans in the state. There are 2 positions, as Councilwoman Kendrick alluded to. If you know someone who'd be willing to serve, please let them know. I've actually got a friend of mine who's expressed interest, so I'm going to see if I can't push him into one of those seats. You guys have, and lady, if you have anything that you need from myself and from Councilwoman Kendrick, please reach out to us. And finally, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and safe travels if you're going out of town. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Councilman.
very much.
Now
Right, there you go. All right. It was just a practice before. Okay, so make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.